Marlon Brando is an absolutely marvelous actor.
Yes,
he has incredible instincts. He's got such extraordinary taste and judgment on the whole. But, I mean, he's so dumb it makes your skin crawl.
Truman Capote was an American author renowned for his literary contributions, most notably the groundbreaking nonfiction novel In Cold Blood, which chronicled a true crime story with unprecedented detail and narrative skill. Capote's distinctive writing style and socialite persona made him a prominent figure in mid-20th century American literature and culture.
In the early morning hours of November 15, 1959, 4 gunshots sounded from the Clutter home of Holcomb, Kansas. The Clutter family, Herb, his wife Bonnie, their children Nancy and Kenyon, were senselessly murdered. Their killers, Richard Eugene Hickok and Perry Smith, were tried and hanged for the crime. What seemed like a senseless murder in the obscurity of western Kansas became one of the most exploited crimes in recent history. Kansas would never be the same. The heartland of America was innocent no longer.
I always have this theory that if you want to move someone else as an artist, you yourself necessarily must have been deeply moved by what it is that you're writing. But you must keep exploiting that emotion in yourself over and over and over and over till you've become completely cold about it, or fairly cold. I mean, so that you no longer laugh, say, about whatever it is that made you laugh, or you don't weep, or whatever it is that made you weep. You see it like it was some extraordinary specimen, but you know that it had that effect on you personally, so that you know that if you can reproduce it, you can make it have exactly the same effect on the on someone else.
I really think you've written a masterpiece here.
Thank you. You'll get a much better dedication. You said that sweet thing. Love from Truman.
Capote's talk show appearances were always memorable, marked by his distinctive charisma and flamboyant, unfiltered honesty. Renowned for his wit, he seamlessly blended entertainment with thoughtful discussion on various shows, solidifying his reputation as a bold and outspoken figure in the public eye.
You did, Truman, a self-interview, which you've done before in another magazine, I think.
I never did a self-interview before. That was I did this it was in the July issue of Cosmopolitan.
Right, and I think you said that you thought that most actors and actresses were dumb. Am I quoting out of context, or is that about basically what you said?
Well, yeah, what I said was that I don't really have much use for actors or actresses, because...
Didn't you say they were dumb?
Oh, yes. Oh. Well, I said that the reason that I don't have much use for them is because primarily they are dumb, and they are. I mean, you know, I've known a few would-be actors or actresses who were intelligent, but their very intelligence prevented them from being actors.
In other words, you think it's difficult for somebody to be highly intelligent?
I'm not making a joke. I mean, it's absolutely dead serious. I mean, this is a really serious observation of mine, and of working in films and whatnot for 25 years. And I've known an awful lot of actors and actresses, and I find, and I really mean this, that the less intelligent the performer is, the better he is. For instance, Marlon Brando is an absolutely marvelous actor.
Yes,
he has incredible instincts. He's got such extraordinary taste and judgment on the whole. But, I mean, he's so dumb it makes your skin crawl. Well, it's true.
I don't know Marlon that well.
And it's all extraordinary, pretentious rhetoric going on about the Indian reservations and what we got to do in Vietnam, and Schopenhauer and Kafka, and I don't know. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You just sit there, keep going, But,
Well, now, how about they keep saying Jill St. John has an IQ of 145 or something, and, you know.
yeah, she's a rotten actress.
Well, yeah, I see that. Nobody explained it to me like that before.
In 2005, Philip Seymour Hoffman delivered a stellar performance in the biographical film Capote, earning him an Academy Award for Best Actor. The film delves into Truman Capote's journey while writing his groundbreaking nonfiction novel In Cold Blood, exploring his complex relationship with the real-life murderers he interviews, particularly Perry Smith, with whom he'd grown particularly fond of.
Decided on a title for my book, In Cold Blood. Isn't that good?
I am pleased to welcome Philip Seymour Hoffman back to this table. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
This is a great movie and a great performance, so let's just sort of move beyond that.
Yeah, let's move
Which
beyond
is
that.
uncomfortable for you.
Way beyond that.
Here it is, this guy that a lot of people in New York know, a lot of people you know, who wrote this extraordinary book and sort of created an art form almost.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of a kind of what it was. Almost a...
He took part in it.
Yeah, took part in it. That's right. Took part in it. Tell me how you decided to, you presented with this challenge, how you go about it. What's the steps of getting inside of somebody? Does it start with a voice? And what is it you have to capture to find the guy you know is Truman Capote?
Well, I think it's always different, but I think with Truman Capote, since he's such an icon, and like you said, there's a lot of people still alive who are very, who know him or seen him or hung out with him, and then there's a lot of people who just witnessed him on TV all through the 70s and early 80s. And I think you have to kind of start with saying, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this at all. Really be as naive as possible, and as ignorant as possible. Because then you can keep yourself as wide open as possible for anything that could be of help, could be of use, And so I just read whatever I could, and I listened and watched whatever I could.
He had a lot of television he'd done.
Well, he's done a lot of television, but I tried to stay away from the talk shows. I watched him a little bit, but because the film takes place before that period of time, and I really wanted to capture him at kind of the height of his powers. This is the period really when he's at his best, And there's this great documentary that the Maysles brothers made called With Love from Truman around 67, 66 in black and white.
Kind of a cinema verite capturing.
Beautiful, beautiful film, and it helped me a lot because it was from that period, and it was capturing him in his private moments and his private settings in a lot of different areas, and you got to see him in a lot of different ways, and that was very helpful. But just to keep yourself open, because you don't know where something's going to come from that's going to inspire you to the next place.
The voice is easy, or not?
No, the voice. Sometimes those things can be, but I'm not very good at accents and mimicking people. I've never been good at that, and so I always have to work a lot when I have to do something like that. But this, because it's not just a feminine voice or a high pitch. It's not just something as simple as that. There's something to it because you start working on it and you realize what the hell is he doing? You can't figure it out. There's something with his tongue. There's something with his jaw.
How does he make those
sounds?
It's
like his whole face is formed in a way to make the sound come out, and it was just maddening for like a couple months before I started like clicking in a little bit. But even then, it was difficult.
Is that the first thing though?
You slip back and forth. You kind of start, making strides with one thing, and then you then you get an idea about another thing. It might be a physical thing, and you come over there and start making strides with that. But you're always got to be looking at the story. You always have to be looking at the truth and the through line of the story, because they can't live without each other. Yeah. You think you can compartmentalize all these things, but ultimately they have to fuse together and become a living thing inside of you. And so that's what's maddening, is that you want to,
And one of the things that was essential about him, he was a great writer.
It's a great writer.
And you can't show that, can you?
Well, you can't, but you can show his intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, because a lot of people remember him as being somewhat of this just kind of colorful raconteur who became almost...
Man around town in New York City
who became almost embarrassing at times to a lot of people. He showed, that famous TV show that he showed up on, and he was drunk out of his mind,
Truman, you said you hadn't been to bed for 48 hours. Is that true? Well, I've been to bed, but...
to sleep is what I meant.
A number of people. You know, my life is so strange. It's not like anybody.
No, I'm sure of that. Can I ask you some serious questions?
Sure, you can go right in. I feel perfectly fine.
Have you been drinking?
You mean very lately?
You have had a history of alcoholism. Millions of people out there have also had
this problem. Alcohol isn't the least of it. I mean, that's the joker in the car.
What's going to happen unless you lick this problem of drugs and alcohol?
The obvious answer is that eventually, I'll kill myself.
Yes.
Without meaning to.
And there's a lot of times that he projected himself into the society.
But that was that later part. Was that the later?
But that's how a lot of people remember him. You know what I mean? So it was very important for me, to the people who don't know him, to see how intelligent and witty and insightful and quick he was, because that's really who he was.
So you got to show his intelligence right off.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There is also about him this interesting thing, and you see this in the film, that he's different to different people. His relationship to his friends is one thing, raconteur, other thing is like certain confidence. When he's with people that he needs something from, he's manipulative, lying.
He's whatever he needs to be. I think if you're somebody, and I think we can all relate to this, I think if you're somebody who is entering into an event, a situation, and you desire the love of the people in that event, whoever it is, be it one person, a bunch of people, and you desire it so badly, and you don't know maybe why you desire it so badly, but you do, you find yourself getting desperate, and you find yourself doing things that you wouldn't normally do. You find yourself morphing yourself into whatever you need to be in order to win them over. And I think that's a human quality when people are in that kind of vulnerable, insecure place. I think Capote lived in that place. That's my opinion. I think it varied from levels to levels, but I do think he entered into most events from that place of vulnerability and insecurity. And so he did whatever he could to gain the attention, the affection, the admiration of whoever he needed it from. And that, became a skill for him, I think.
Truman Capote, renowned for the haunting In Cold Blood, shifted to a lighter tone with 2 holiday shorts for television in 1966 and 1968. In 1968, he delved deep into his troubled childhood with The Thanksgiving Visitor, first published in the November 1967 issue of McCall's magazine. This introspective tale took its definitive form in a 1968 release by Random House, Inc. Now, join us for the made-for-television adaptation of The Thanksgiving Visitor, a rarely seen, touching holiday short film that originally aired on November 28, 1968. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section below.
About mean. Odd Henderson was the meanest human creature in my experience. And I'm speaking about a 12-year-old boy, not some grown-up who has had the time to ripen a naturally evil disposition. Odd had failed first grade twice and was now serving his second term in the second grade. Many children in our school came from families poorer than the Hendersons. Odd had a pair of shoes, while some boys, girls too, were forced to go barefoot right through the bitterest weather. That's how hard the Depression had hit Alabama. Nobody ever picked a fight with him. Alas, even on weekends, I was the object of Odd's relentless attentions.
What's the big idea? When I blow this whistle, you're supposed to stop, hear me? Why should I? 'Cause I say so, that's why. Get out of my way! Try and make me. I gotta go. Just where do you think you're going, huh? I'm going to town. Yeah? What do you figure to do in town? None of your business. Don't you sass me, you little shrimp. Asked you what you figure to do in town. I'm going to the picture show. That's what you think. Let me buy it. Let me buy it. I'll be late. You gotta have a dime to go to the picture show. Hand it over. I will not. Hand it over. No. Oh. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh. 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 Give it to me. This is one Saturday you ain't going to the picture show. Crybaby. Crybaby, you ain't got the spoke of a female's crybaby.
My house belonged to elderly cousins, 3 maiden ladies and their bachelor brother who had taken me under their roof because of a disturbance in my more immediate family. Some of the time that I lived with them turned out to be the happiest part of my childhood, mainly because the youngest of the cousins, a woman in her 60s, became my first friend. As she was a child herself, she understood children and understood me absolutely. She was sensitive as Shy Lady Fern, a recluse who had never traveled beyond the county boundaries. Perhaps it was strange for a young boy to have as his best friend an aging spinster, but neither of us had an ordinary outlook or background, and so it was inevitable in our separate loneliness that we should come to share a friendship apart.
I can't believe any human being is as bad as you make that man out to be. Can't you just keep out of his way?
I do keep out of his way. He gets in my way.
Have you tried reasoning with him? Can't you point out the unfairness of it? He's so much bigger than you are.
He'd laugh first and spit next.
Yeah, well, don't you worry about it. I'm going to give you another dime.
Don't be so late. I'll miss the cereal.
Anyway, get to see the long picture. Oh, I can't wait to get home and tell me the story. What are you doing? Why are you giving him money? It's for the picture show.
You already gave him a dime. I saw you right after lunch. Now, don't tell me you lost it.
Well, a boy came along and took it away from him.
And you let him?
Well, he was a lot bigger and older than
Money does not grow on trees, you know. A dime will buy 2 loaves of bread, 5 pounds of flour, and a whole gallon of molasses.
It wasn't his fault.
He allowed himself to be robbed. He has to suffer the consequences.
You know how much Buddy loves the picture show?
I don't approve of him going every single week anyway. He'll ruin his eyes.
What's the name of the picture this week?
Claudette Colbert and Cleopatra.
Cleopatra?
It's about Egypt.
Well, that most certainly is not a story for a young boy to see.
Oh, why not? There's a lot about Egypt in the Bible.
I forbid you to give him another dime, Sook. So do I. You got to stop spoiling that boy.
You're spoiling him right.
Money is for the household, not for frivolities.
Never mind, Buddy. all my cameo Papa gave me, and we'll just take a bus and go to New Orleans and never come back.
I've been thinking about Thanksgiving, Bobby. We're going to need 2 turkeys this year.
And the crowds are coming and bringing their 3 little boys for the first time. Mary's great-grandson has a new bride.
What's the matter with you?
Why aren't you eating your breakfast, buddy?
I'm not hungry.
Archie, don't you feel well?
I've got a terrible stomach ache.
Well, maybe you better not go to school today.
Nonsense. Of course he's going to school.
I think you might have a little touch.
Why do you let him fool you? There's nothing at all the matter with him. Now, you listen to me, sir. I'm doggone tired of these scenes every morning.
Please, Uncle B. I've terrible pain.
You do not have a pain of any kind whatsoever. Now, finish your breakfast at once.
He's a little pale. Barbara, let me take his temperature.
You keep out of this, Sue. I've heard of boys dislike in school, but I've never seen anything like the tricks you think up to stay home. Now, why is that? Answer me, sir. Did you do your homework? You know your lesson?
Of course he knows his lessons. He got all A's on his last report card.
Will you keep out of this, Sook? I want Buddy to tell me why he hates school.
I don't hate school. I hate Art Henderson.
Who's all Henderson?
An older boy, a bully who picks on Buddy.
You a coward, sir? Now, you've got to get in there and tangle with him. You've got to bloody his nose and blacken his eyes. Nothing complicated about that, is there? Is there, Buddy?
What do you think you're doing? I'm going to punch you right in the nose. Go ahead and try. Ah, look at a little wildcat trying to fight. Ow! Ow! He's on! Ow! There were 34 children on the ship. Then a baby was born during this voyage. He was named He was named Oceanus, stupid.
Buddy.
Yes, ma'am?
Stand up when I'm talking to you. Do you realize you are 1/4 of an hour late?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the 7th time this month I've had to mark you tardy. Everybody else manages to get here on time. Now, what makes you think you're special? What makes you think you can march into this class 15 minutes after the bell? Well, answer me, Mr. Big Britches.
Yell at him. He's the one to blame, the son of a buddy. Oh!
March yourself up here, young man. Put out your hands, young man. Palms up, young man.
And one, Betty, you are thick. My head hurts and my throat hurts.
Oh, well, I'm going right downstairs and tell Uncle B that you cannot go to school today.
You don't believe it.
Well, you believe this baby thermometer? Now, you just close your eyes and lie still. You feel a little better?
A little. Not much, though.
Well, you need nourishment. I made you some cream and tomato soup. A big dab of whipped cream the way you like it. All right. Who are they?
John Gilbert and Goody Garble.
Did you ever see such big, plump, black grapes?
Makes me hungry just to look at him. Oh! Buddy, what are you doing with that? Not decently cut. What are they doing?
You looked at the wrong side. This is the one I cut out. Buster Crab and Flash Gordon.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Now let's play rook.
Buddy, I've been thinking about Thanksgiving. We're going to have 2 turkeys this year.
I know.
So that means there's going to be more than enough in case you want to invite an extra guest.
Who?
Buddy, I want you to invite Odd Henderson to Thanksgiving dinner. Please, buddy.
I thought you were friends.
Well, of course, I am.
If you're worried, you'd never think up a thing like that. Odd Henderson's my enemy.
Well, how could he be? Doesn't even know you.
Well, I'm his enemy.
I think that if you asked Odd Henderson to sit down to Thanksgiving dinner with us, this whole trouble would just stop right there.
I won't do it. He'd think I was crazy, and I would be.
Well, suppose I invite him.
You wouldn't.
That's what I'm going to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to put on my hat, and I'm going to pay a call on Molly Henderson. I always did like Molly Henderson. She does all she can, and that house is as clean as Bob Spencer's fingernails.
Did you see whether Odd's coming here or not?
Buddy, you gotta keep your lips closed around that. Tell you, it hurt me right down to my toes. See somebody struggling like Molly? Never see a clear day? Made me feel ashamed. Somebody like that can't even satisfy the plainest need. I felt ashamed for all of us to have a little something extra. People like that have nothing.
Well, what about the invitation?
You gotta let that thermometer have time to register. I mentioned to Molly that we had more quilts here than we could ever use. There's that trunk up in the attic for those old scrap quilts that I made when I was a girl when I couldn't go out much. And she cut me right off. She said, the Hendersons are doing just fine. Thank you. They don't want anything. And Buddy, I think you are wrong about her boy Odd being for me.
I am not.
Well, partially wrong. From what Molly says, there's a good side to his nature. Now, she says that he helps her an awful lot. Never complains, no matter how many chores there is. She says that he can sing just as good as on the radio. And that when the little ones start a ruckus, why, he can just quiet them down by singing to them. All we can do for people like Molly is just respect them and remember them in our prayers.
Is Odd coming here for Thanksgiving or isn't he?
Well, sometimes I think these eyes are just giving out. You know, at my age, body has to look at everything real careful, just in case. Yesterday, I caught myself staring at a cobweb, just so as I'd remember what a cobweb really looks like. Molly's real happy that you felt enough about our ask him over for Thanksgiving. And she said she's sure that he'll be just tickled pink to come.
Hair's cleaning, I see.
Yes, we've done the whole parlor today, but it's been more help than a dozen hands.
Cold better?
A little better, sir.
Must be all better if you've been able to work so hard. Now, I've got a chore for you.
Oh, well, he's still a little weak. I was just about to send him off to bed, get a little rest.
Not so fast, sir. Wait a minute. You get your jacket and come out to the chicken yard with me.
What for?
Buddy's going to kill the turkeys this year.
Kill the turkey?
House cleaning's woman's work. It's about time you learn to do a man's job.
Oh, Bobby. Please don't make him do that. Why, he can barely stand to kill flies. Oh, do it.
I won't. What did you say won't to me? You march out there and get your jacket. And don't you ever again dare to file an order for me. He's got to stop hanging off your apron strings. Come on, bud. Come on, catch him. I'll tell you to catch him. Come on, get a hold of him. Come on, don't be a coward. He won't take you. Come on, catch him, I tell you. Hear me, buddy. Catch him. Come on. Up. Come on, buddy, come on. No, catch that one. Come on. He won't catch you. Oh. Now pick up that hatchet. Pick up that hatchet. Now cut its head off. Go on, did you hear what I said? Cut its head off.
Buddy, open the door. Buddy, Uncle B feels bad, too. Uncle B's, well, he's a kind man at heart. He's just in too much of a hurry to make you grow up. Buddy, please come out. I'll make you some cream and tomato soup. I'll play you a game of rook. We just get on a bus and go to New Orleans.
Afternoon, Miss Sook.
Oh, Mr. Foote, am I happy to see you?
Now, Little Bird told me to come and call on you today. Little Bird said Miss Sook needs to have her knife sharpened for the big feast.
Well, we're going to have 2 turkeys this year. And I have my doubts about one of them. I don't think that hen stopped running since Noah let her loose.
Well, don't worry. When I get through with your knife, that bird will slice like butter. Meantime, why don't you have a look around the store?
Uh-huh. Oh, yes, I need a teaspoon.
Well, here you are.
Oh, thank you. And, can I have one of those graders?
Well, nice and new and shiny. What else would you like?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that's all I need today.
Well, I didn't say need. I said like. Jungle lily. Made of crushed flowers from the Orient. Oh, musk and magic. The essence of feminine mystery. You put a drop of that behind your ear, Miss Sook, you'd be the talk of the whole county.
Oh, I can't afford that. All I got... Well, that just makes my head in the world.
I'm setting a special price just for you, $1.85 for a full 3-ounce bottle.
What the hell against household?
Well, listen, we could work out a trade and you still have cash left over. You got any old gold, old jewelry, old watches? We could work out a trade. You Jungle Lily, Miss Sook, your whole life might just change.
You got old jewelry?
A new sideline. I got a deal down the county seat. Let me take it up.
I'll be right back.
Well, let's see what you got here.
That's my cameo Papa gave me when I was 14.
What you fixing to do with this brooch, Miss Sook?
I will sell it to you, Mr. Pruitt, for the very top price you can give me.
Uh-huh. What do you think that might be?
$50.
Oh, now, Miss Sook,
I know.
you for a sensible.
I know it's worth more than that, but I'm willing to sacrifice because it's an emergency in the family. It's ivory and pure gold. Papa must have paid a fortune for it.
Did he tell you that?
You would have thought it all good to boast.
I'm sorry, Miss Sook, this is ivory and gold. Some kind of composition in metal. Nickel or brass, maybe.
No. You're making a mistake.
You want to look for yourself in the glass? Take it to Clayton Jones downtown, he'd tell you the same thing. You were probably a slip of a girl when he bought it for you. Figured you'd probably lose it.
I haven't lost it. I've kept it all these years. It's Papa's tickets.
Big fella?
It is time my whole life changed. I can't do a Jungle Lily. I have $4. I got to.
Haven't you got a little old silver pitcher in the house? We could work out something.
Nothing else now belongs to me. The family is all the things that's mine. Buddy, that's not the way to do it. Chrysanthemums are like lions. See, they're not easy to capture. You gotta stalk them very carefully. Otherwise, they'll spring around and roar at you. Ready? You got it! Be careful. I hear one growler. Ready? Be careful. Sneak up. Don't make a sound. You got it. And listen to this one roaring down here. Split a body's eardrum. You nearly got away from me that time. Oh, Buddy, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. I think you caught the king of them all.
Our most delicate task on Thanksgiving Eve was preparing the table. The linen belonged to my friend's mother. It was 80 years old and mended and patched. Probably it had not been fine material to begin with, but my friend treated it as though it had been woven by golden hands on heavenly looms. A lively day that Thanksgiving. Lively, with on and off showers and abrupt sky clearings, accompanied by thrust of raw sun and sudden bandit winds snatching autumn's leftover leaves. Most of these people lived year-round in lonesome places, isolated farms, whistle stops and crossroads, empty river hamlets, or lumber camp communities deep in the pine forest. So, of course, they were eager for our yearly gathering, primed for an affectionate and memorable day. Mrs. Mary Taylor Wheelwright, an ancient aunt, escorted by her grandson and his wife. She wore her age as lightly as her bonnet, like a cherry on a vanilla sundae. She is bringing my favorite dish, cold banana pudding. To our sorrow, she took the secret of its recipe with her when she died in 1939, aged 105. A cousin twice removed, Harriet Parker from Flomaton, with her husband, Grover Parker. Harriet Parker's sister, Alice, who never married and farms her father's place all alone. The Perk McLeod family. Cousin Harriet made perfect ambrosia, transparent orange slices combined with freshly ground coconut. Alice always arrived with a casserole of whipped sweet potatoes and raisins. Home-dipped chocolates, candied fruit, and sugared almonds. Here comes the Conklin tribe, Mr. and Mrs. Bill Conklin and their quartet of handsome daughters. Mr. Conklin was well off. He owned several fishing smackers that operated out of Mobile. Suddenly, in 1 year's time, Annabelle had turned into an entrancing young lady. Her hair was beautiful, and her features, eyebrows, nose, lips when smiling, tilted in such an original fashion. She smelled like geraniums after rain. I loved her.
Now the enchantment defy ye, but me and my true love will never meet again. The funny, funny thanks of Loch Lomond, by yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will never meet again. The bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. All right, now, buddy, you choose a song. I learn a song. Oh, sure you do. Come on and tell me, what's your favorite? I bet you know, Red, Red Robin? Sort of. Well, come on and sing it with me. I can't sing. Well, sure you can. You just follow along. Come on. When the wind blows round, bob, 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 and low. There'll be no more sobbing when he starts robbing his own. So stop, wake up, you sleepyhead. Get up, get up, get out of bed. Cheer up, that's not a good thing. Love, life and be happy. What is 5 and 2? Now I'm walking through fields of flowers. Rain may glisten, but I still listen for hours and hours. I'm just a kid again, doing what I did again, singing a song. When the
Daddy. Life is your particular gift. You go straight in there, and you see that you make everybody have a good time.
I don't want them to have a good time.
Welcome to our house. I'm Buddy's cousin, Miss Sook. And Buddy and I, we're so happy you could come. Maybe Art could sing us a tune. I know he can sing his mother doesn't. So, Annabelle, sugar, you play something that Art can sing.
Well, I'd love to. Do you know I Have Seen a Light? Well, how about Don't Steal Daddy's Medals? He won them for bravery. Well, then, who were you with last night? Sure. Well, come sit down here then.
In an office of the West, Obadiah smartly dressed, wandered in one Friday morning a brand new fancy vest. His pals all rose and said, "My word, you're a naughty, naughty boy. Last night we saw you making eyes at a nice little lump-box toy. You kissed her twice, the same thing twice, gave her wings to scream. So we'd like you to inform us, Mr. Obadiah, please. Oh, who were you with last night? Out in the pale light. It wasn't your sister, it wasn't your mom. Who were you with last night? Out in the pale light. Are you gonna tell your missus when you get home who you were with last night? Oh, who were you with last night? Out in the pale
Very nice, Mary. Even Mary just says so herself. What you're looking for is right in there, young man.
Bless you, O Lord, for the bounty of our table, for the very fruits we can be thankful for on this Thanksgiving Day of a troubled year. Amen.
Someone in here's a thief. Al Henderson is a thief. He stole Miss Sook's cameo.
But it doesn't mean that it's a thief.
If you don't believe me, go look in your box. The cameo isn't there. It's in Aunt Henderson's pocket.
Oh, Buddy's had a terrible cold and a fever. Now, don't blame him, Art. He doesn't have no notion of what he's saying.
Go look in your box.
Maybe you'd better. That should settle the matter.
Oh, Bobby, I think you better go on to the carving. You know, I didn't live to be 103 years old by just looking at a delicious turkey and not eating it.
Tell
me, Immerse. Are we going to have some of your cold banana pudding for dessert this year?
The first Thanksgiving, I don't bring my banana pudding. You know I'm cold in my grave.
I'd be much obliged, ma'am, if you'd lend my wife your recipe for that.
Preacher, you ask me that every year, and every year I tell you no. That receipt is my secret. Oh, I know what you're afraid of. You're afraid I'm going to die.
Not at all.
Well, now, just to put all of your minds at rest, I done made my will. And I'm a-leaving the secret of my pudding to my great niece Alice for her dowry.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. But as you know, my time for marrying is past.
Oh, nonsense. There's just one little hint I can give you all about the pudding. The secret's in the beating.
How long do you beat it, Aunt Mary?
Oh, about as long as 3 courses, or when the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there.
To what tempo, ma'am?
When the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. When the trumpets of the Lord shall sound, and time shall be no more, and the morning breaks eternal bright. Oh, shame on you, Buddy, playing a joke like that. My cameo is exactly where I left it.
Buddy, I want you to apologize to our guest. Buddy, I said apologize to our guest.
You don't have to. Just tell the truth. I wish I had some excuse to give, but I ain't got none. You must be a very special lady, Miss Sook, to fib for me like that. I saved your drumstick. And I rescued your favorite piece, the bully. Come on, take it. Betrayed our French. Well, I think you know you're the hungriest 40 fat pirates. Why'd you lie to save out Henderson's skin? You eat, I'll talk. Buddy, 2 wrongs don't make a right. You heard me say that before, haven't you? Of course it was wrong of ours to take a cameo. But whatever his reasons, they can't have been calculated. And that's why what you did was worse. Worse? Yes, it was 10 times worse. You planned to humiliate him. No. I'm a foolish old woman without any schooling, but I know in my heart that deliberate cruelty is the unpardonable sin. Everything else can be forgiven, but that just never. You understand me, buddy? Sort of. Anyway, I got your cameo back. What if I wouldn't let Art steal it? Then how could we get on the bus to New Orleans? When you finish that, we'll go back to the house. I saved a cup of Aunt Mary's banana pudding. In New Orleans, I bet there's a picture show every day. Of course there is, the big city. When are you going to sell your cameo? Oh, one of these days. When I can get somebody who'll pay me what it's really worth. We'll get a lot of money for it, won't we? Of course we will, buddy. Why, it's ivory, pure gold. Make a wish and pull. Easy as pie. You win. Tell me your wish. I just wish you'd forgive me for taking Art Henderson's part against you, buddy. Well, that's a pardonable sin?